just one part of it. Our theme today, we're going to be focusing on opening up the hips. So the arm balance that I picked, it goes along with the theme because that arm balance requires a certain amount of hip flexibility as well as core strength. Every arm balance requires a little bit of upper body strength, but mostly your core. And then depending on what shape we put our legs in, sometimes they require some flexibility as well. So let's start our class in child's pose. Once you got everything all set up, child's pose, big toes together, knees wide, forehead down. Just take a few deep breaths here, settle into this child's pose. Remember, you can always come back to child's pose at any point in the practice. If you need to take a break or rest, you can come back to this pose, skip whatever you need to skip. Yoga is about learning how to listen to your body. Again, I'll give options and variations. Doing what's right for you today may be different from day to day. Connect to your Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through the nose, slightly constricting the back of your throat so you can hear the sound of your breath, making each inhale and exhale even longer so you can use that breath to help you flow through the practice. Walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. Place your left hand on top of the right, creating a little stretch through the left side of your body. Then walk your hands to the left side of the mat and put your right hand on top of the left. Okay, let's come up now to a tabletop position. So to your hands and knees, hands right under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Inhale, drop the belly, arch your back and gaze up, cow pose. And then exhale, tuck your chin in, round your back for cat. Inhale as you arch, just warming up your spine. Exhale as you round. One more time. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. After your last one, find a neutral spine right in the middle. Step your left leg out to the side. Gate pose. So you're going to stand up on your right knee and your left foot. Your left hand goes on the left leg, maybe on the thigh or the side of the leg there. Reach your right arm over your ear, creating a side body stretch on the right side. Lift up, switch your legs. Left knee goes down, right foot steps to the side, right hand on the right leg, and then reach that left arm over your ear for that side body stretch. Good. Back to your tabletop, to your hands and knees. Thread the needle, peel the right arm up, then thread it all the way through. Put your head down, walk your left hand straight forward. Maybe even crawl it from there a little bit to the right, starting to open up your shoulder and your upper back. Come back up to tabletop and switch sides. Peel the left arm up, thread it through, put your head down, walk that right hand forward, maybe crawl it a little bit to the left side. Back to tabletop. So back to your hands and knees. Now connect to your core. Your right arm reaches forward. Your left leg extends back. Opposite arm and leg. Right arm, left leg. As you exhale, bring your knee and elbow in as close as you can get them. Maybe they touch. Then inhale to extend it out and reach. Good, like a crunch. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Now hold. You can stay here or maybe bend your left leg and see if your right hand can reach around and grab your left foot for a little back bend. It's also still requiring you to balance. Good, let go, stretch it out, set it down. Other side, left arm, right leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time, knee to elbow. And then extend it out and maybe just hold here. Work your core and balance or bend the leg, add the back bend, grabbing the foot and kicking it back. Very nice. Stretch it out, set it down, and let's come into our first downward facing dog. Plant your hands shoulder width, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, your feet about hips width, And walk out your first down dog. As you bend the right leg, push your left heel down. Then you switch, bend the left leg and push the right heel down. And just pedal it out a few more times on your own, stretching your calves, your hamstrings. Maybe doing the same thing with the arms, bending one elbow at a time. And then settling into that down dog, shrugging your shoulders away from the ears, pressing the weight towards your heels, even if the heels don't reach the floor yet. Walk your feet all the way to the front of the mat, ragdoll, feet hips width. Bend your knees and grab opposite elbows. Let yourself hang. Maybe shake your head, yes and no. Relax your neck. Then you can start to sway a bit side to side, shifting the body weight from the right foot to the left foot. Maybe swaying forward and back from the balls of the feet to the heels. Release your arms, roll yourself up to stand one vertebra at a time. Good. When you get to the top, lift your arms up. Your right hand is going to grab onto your left wrist and pull it to the right. So just creating that side body stretch standing. And then switch. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist and pull it to the left. Good. Back to center. Interlace the fingers behind your back, or if you have a strap or a towel, you can hold on to that instead. Open up your chest. Bend your knees a little bit and then fold forward with the hands interlaced or holding on to that yoga strap. Release your hands to the floor. Cross your right foot behind the left foot. So your left leg is crossed in front and then fold over your legs. Feel free to bend the knees as much as you need to. We're still just loosening everything up. If your legs are straight and you feel like you want a little more, maybe walk your hands over to the left side of the mat. Left leg is in front and maybe the hands go to the left. Walk the hands to center, switch the cross of your feet. So now your right leg is crossed in front, hands on the blocks or on the floor, folding forward. Legs can be bent if you need them to be. If your legs are straight, maybe walk your hands to the right side. Walk it back to center, uncross your feet. Feet together. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. Fingertips can be on the shins or the floor. As you exhale, step to plank, and then put your knees on the floor. Modified plank. Good. Hug your elbows in. Modified chaturanga. Slowly come down to the floor all the way. Untuck your toes so the tops of the feet are on the ground. Inhale, cobra pose. Just a small back bend. Don't lift up too high. Elbows should still be bent. And then lower back down. Good. Press up to your knees to that modified plank position. Then tuck your toes under and make your way back to down dog. So when we start to flow through those chaturangas, keep in mind that's the version you can always go back to, right? You can put your knees down if you want. If up dog doesn't feel good today, you can always go back to cobra. Look forward, step, or maybe hop both feet to the front. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, fingertips on the shins or the floor. Exhale, forward fold. This time, use your flat back. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Gaze up. Maybe the palms touch overhead. Exhale, swan dive right back down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step to plank. Now this time you can choose to put the knees down or to stay on your toes. Chaturanga, low push up, go halfway down and hug your elbows in. Then flip over your feet either to up dog or to cobra. Right, so if you're an up dog, I know it's hard to tell in the video, but my knees don't touch the floor, just the tops of my feet and my hands. So it's a very active pose. My legs are engaged. Good. Exhale, flip over your feet, down dog. Same thing, one more time. Look forward, step or hop, both feet to the front. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, swan dive back down. Good. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, you can step or you can even jump back to chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. You choose your back bend. Exhale, meeting in down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it between your hands for a low lunge. Drop your left knee on the floor and untuck the toes. Make sure your right knee's over the ankle, so you might need to take a few steps or help guide that foot up there, and then bring your hands up to the right thigh. Good, you're sinking into that left hip flexor here, the front of that left hip. Hands can stay on the thigh or lift your arms up, gaze up to the ceiling, little back bend, maybe press the palms together. Lower your hands to the blocks or to the floor. Half splits, straightening the right leg, flexing the right foot. Don't sit back on your heel. Your hip should be over the knee. If your leg is not straight, you can try wiggling it a little more forward. And then you try to fold, bringing your nose towards the right leg. Rebend that right leg so you can bring your hands back down and step back to your chaturanga, low push-up from the toes or the knees. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, lift your left leg up, step it forward to your low lunge, putting your right knee on the ground. Making sure again that that left knee's over the ankle so that it's safer for your knee, and then bring your hands up to the thigh. Sinking into that right hip flexor, the front of the right hip. If you want to add that back bend, lifting the arms up, gazing up, hands can stay shoulder width distance, or you can try pressing the palms together. Lower your hands down to the blocks or the floor for your half splits, straightening the left leg and flexing the left foot. Folding towards the left leg. Rebend the leg, plant your hands down, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it between your hands again, but this time stay on the ball of your back foot. Crescent lunge, Koundinyasana, high crescent lunge. So your back heel is off of the ground, you're on the ball of the foot, you're really engaging this back leg, and then you're bending into the front leg. Both arms are straight up to the ceiling. If you feel a little wobbly, like you're on a tightrope, move your back foot a little more to the side, so that way your feet don't feel crossed. Open to warrior two by pivoting your back heel flat on the ground and opening your arms like a T. So your back foot's now parallel to the back edge of the mat. You have a big bend in that right leg. Look at your right hand and flip the palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior, reaching back, stretch the side body. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the front. Step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up, step it between your hands, setting up crescent lunge. Set up the feet first so you feel stable, and then lift your arms up. High crescent lunge on the ball of the back foot, hips square to the front, arms up to the ceiling. Open it up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana B, pivoting the back heel down, opening the hips, arms out like a T. Look at your left hand, flip that palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach backwards, and then exhale, windmill the hands to the front, big step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your feet to the front and take them to the edges of the mat for Malasana, prayer squat. Turn your toes out 45 degrees, drop your hips down, and bring your hands to prayer. You can sit on a block if you want, if that feels better to you. You can put your block right underneath your hips. If you find that your heels are having a hard time getting flat on the ground, you could also try just widening the stance, taking your feet a little further apart. Good. Use those elbows, push the inner thighs apart, press your chest forward to meet the hands. So you're really creating length in your spine. You're trying to take the hunching and the rounding out of the back. Good. Stay here a little longer, or put your right shoulder inside that right knee and open the arms. Right hand on the floor and peel that left arm up. Back to center and open it the other way. Left shoulder inside the left knee, left hand down, right arm up. Good. Back to center. Bring your hands down. Bring your legs in about hips width as you straighten the legs. So about 6 to 8 inches between your feet. Now they're parallel. Peace fingers. Try to hook onto your big toes with those first 2 fingers. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Drop your head, relax your neck. If you can't reach your big toes, bend your knees a little more to help you hold on to your toes. Now you can choose to stay here a little longer if you want to stay in this stretch, or you can work on your Bakasana, crow pose. We practiced this last week. Plant the hands shoulder width. Walk your feet back a little bit and bring them together. Bend your arms, make a little shelf, and put your knees up high on the shelf. Then you start to lean forward, maybe just one foot. Maybe the other foot lifts, right? Kind of test it out. The more you shift your body forward, the lighter those toes are going to feel. Stick out your chin, look forward past the edge of the mat. Try not to look at your feet because then you might accidentally fall on your head. It's easier to balance if you look forward and stick out your chin. Yes, the more you go forward, the lighter those toes are going to feel. When you're done, we'll meet in a child's pose. So just resetting. Feel free to always get water whenever you need it. Balasana, child's pose, big toes together, knees apart a little bit, forehead down, resetting here. Back to downward facing dog. Reset in your down dog. Lift the right leg up, step it forward, back to your crescent lunge position. So find your balance and lift the arms up, high crescent lunge. Now we'll add on, coming into airplane, Degasana. Lean forward, sweep your arms back, palms face down, and float the left leg up. Flexing the left foot, trying to keep your hips square and level, so all 5 left toes point towards the mat. Standing splits, put your hands down to the floor or the blocks, and then as you lift that left leg higher, see if your nose can get closer to the right leg. Now we're lifting the left leg up as high as we can, but we're not opening the hip to do so. We're keeping the hips square, so it might not go as high as you think. Both hands on the blocks or on the floor, or maybe the right hand grabs the back of that right ankle. Come back up to your fingertips, lengthen your spine, lower your leg a little bit. Bend your right leg a little. This will help, and carefully come back up to airplane. See if you can lift the arms back up to airplane. Then take a big step back, crescent lunge. And then adjust, right? If you didn't quite land where you wanted to for crescent lunge, you can adjust the feet. Open to warrior 2, pivoting that back heel down. So your back foot again is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Your right knee still points straight forward. Look at your right hand, flip that palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle, right elbow to the thigh, left arm up. You can stay here or put your right hand on a floor or block right on the inside of that right foot for extended side angle. And that left arm could still be up to the ceiling, or if it's okay on the shoulder, you might reach your left arm forward, palm facing down, bicep by your ear. And then see if you can look under your armpit towards the ceiling to help you rotate that chest open. Nice. Come back up, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse again, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands to the front. Step your way back, chaturanga. Any variation of your chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Other side, lifting the left leg up. Step it forward, starting in crescent lunge. Koundinyasana, find your balance on the ball of that back foot as you lift the arms up. Focus your gaze, looking down, start to lean forward, airplane, sweep the arms back, palms face the floor, flex your right foot, Try to pick one spot and just stare at it. That will help you with the balance. Standing splits, both hands to the blocks or the floor. Bringing your nose closer to that left leg as you lift that right leg up higher, keeping the hips square. Maybe left hand to the left ankle if you did that on the other side. Now, the harder part is coming back to airplane. So come up to your fingertips first, lower your leg, put a little bend in your left leg, and maybe just one hand at a time. Try to come back up to airplane and just take one deep breath there. And then take a big step back to crescent lunge. Good. Find that high crescent lunge. Open to warrior two, Virabhadrasana B. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale to side angle, starting with the left elbow on the thigh and the right arm up to the ceiling. Holding there or going lower, putting your left hand on the floor block right on the inside of the foot. Right arm could still be straight up to the ceiling or reaching it forward, palm facing down, creating that long line from the right hand to the right foot. Lift back up to your warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands to the front. Step back, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lift the right leg up, but this time step it to the outside of the right hand for lizard pose. So all the way to the edge of the mat and drop your left knee down. So it's like your low lunge, but your right foot's all the way at the edge of the mat, a little wider. Okay, so knee is still over ankle. All 5 toes are pointing forward, and the baby toe edge of my foot is touching the edge of my mat there. Hands or elbows down on the inside of the foot. Or if you have that block, if your elbows don't reach the floor, you can put 1 or 2 blocks under your elbows. If you don't have blocks, you just get as low as you can without the blocks. Let your left leg just relax, right? Untuck the left toes, let that left knee be on the floor. And mostly, you should feel this in that right outer hip. This pose is going to help us with the arm balance because this is kind of the setup. So we'll get to that arm balance later that I mentioned at the beginning, Koundinyasana. But for now, just try to open up the hips here in lizard. Press up to your hands. Turn your right foot to the side, 45 degrees. My knee is still pointing to the same direction as the big toe. Turned it out. Put your left hand down and twist your right arm back. You can stay there, or maybe you can reach that left foot and pull it in, stretching the quad, right hand to left foot. But if it cramps up or it hurts your knee or doesn't feel good, just let go of the foot and twist the arm back without grabbing the foot. Good. Now when you let go straight back to down dog. No chaturanga this time. Just reset in your down dog. Lift the left leg up. Step it outside your left hand for lizard. Drop your right knee down. For the first variation, your toes are pointing straight forward. Your knee is over your ankle. Your foot is right at the edge of the mat there. And then hands or elbows down on the inside of the foot. Maybe using the blocks if you have blocks. Good. Relax that right leg, the back leg, right? And then sink down, stretching mostly again into that left outer hip. That's where you should feel it mostly. Press up to your hands. Move the blocks out of the way if you have the blocks. Turn your left foot out 45 degrees, just to the side, 45 degrees, knee still pointing now the same direction as those toes. Right hand down, twist your left arm back. And maybe stay there, or maybe your left hand can grab your right foot and pull it towards you, stretching the quad of that back leg. Again, without forcing it, only if it feels reachable there or accessible. Good, let go, go back to down dog, reset, meet in your downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up, step it between your hands, coming back into our crescent lunge. High crescent lunge again. And then open it right up to warrior two this time, pivoting that back heel down. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale into half moon. Bring your right hand on the floor, or I really recommend a block for this one. Right hand on the block. Open up this left hip, flex the foot, and peel the left arm up. Now remember, your block has 3 heights. So if your standing leg is not straight, adjust the height of the block to help you. If your hand can go on the floor, that's great as long as your standing leg is straight. Peel this left hip open. So it's not standing splits. We're not trying to get the leg as high as we can. We just want our leg about parallel to the floor. Right hand is down, right leg is down. My left arm is going straight up to the ceiling. If you're having a hard time balancing, keep your eyes on the floor. If your balance feels great, then you make it harder by looking up to the ceiling. Good. Step back to warrior two. And again, always adjust if you need to find that good warrior two position. Straighten your right leg. Walk your left foot in 2 inches. Triangle pose. Shift your hips back. Reach forward. Place your right hand on the shin, ankle, or foot. Left arm straight up to the ceiling. Koundinyasana, triangle pose. Right hand to right leg. Let me see. Brianna, right hand on your right shin. Yes, there you go. Good. Now everyone use your core and just stand back up. Now to get back to warrior two, we have to walk that back foot out again, just like 2 inches, and rebend your front leg for your warrior two position. Very nice. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands to the front, step back. Optional, chaturanga. If you need to skip it, just go to down dog. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Other side, lift the left leg up. Last time we're going to step it forward to our crescent lunge position, starting in that high lunge. Open to warrior two. Inhale, reverse, and then as you exhale, we're setting up for half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Left hand on the floor block, usually about 6 to 8 inches away from your baby toe. So a little bit off to the side. So it's closer to the corner of my mat. If your hand is too close to your foot, it's going to be harder to balance. So moving your hand a little bit away will help. Open up that right hip, peel the right arm up, flex your right foot. Having both legs really active is going to make it easier to balance. And again, I like to keep my eyes on the floor, but if your balance feels good and you want that extra challenge, you look up to the ceiling. Nice, everyone. Good. Big step back, warrior two. Reset the feet in your warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Walk your back foot in 2 inches. Shift your hips back and then reach forward for triangle. Your left hand can go on the shin, maybe to the ankle or the foot, and then reach your right arm straight up to the ceiling. But triangle is not about touching your toes. Triangle is about creating length through both sides of the waist. So you don't want to be crunching here. You want to be long, really long spine. Use your core to lift your torso back up, and then adjust your feet to come back to warrior two. Walk your back foot out and rebend that front leg. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands to the front. Step your way back, chaturanga, low push up. Good, inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step both feet to the front and just roll up to stand, 1 vertebra at a time. Good. Step to face the long edge of your mat, whichever way you want. Interlace the fingers or grab that yoga strap again and hold onto your yoga strap behind your back. Open up the chest and then keeping your hands interlaced or holding onto the strap, folding forward. Straddle forward fold with that chest opening. Release the strap or release the hands and walk your hands through your legs and just try to fold a little bit deeper. Now walk your hands back in. Take your left foot, turn it out 45 degrees. Start to bend your knee like a side lunge. Walk your hands over there and then slide your right leg away and flex the foot. So my left foot, it should look like when we did that prayer squat, Malasana, my foot is turned out. You might have to keep your hands on the floor. If your balance is good and your heel is down, you might try your hands in prayer. My right leg is out straight, my foot is flexed. So you should feel a stretch in the hips. Good, go the other way. Walk it to the right side, drop your hips down. My right foot is turned out about 45 degrees. My left leg is straight with the foot flexed, hands on the floor to help you balance, or hands in prayer position. Good, back to center. Now, both knees will come down, frog pose. Slide your knees apart, kind of wiggle them, maybe even use your hand to push your knees wider apart. Flex your feet and look back for a moment. Make sure your ankle is in line with knee and your hip is in line with knee. You see like a 90-degree angle right there, your knee joint, and then try to come down to your elbows. So you should feel the stretch in the inner thighs here. Now, if this feels like a pretty deep stretch, stay here. If you want to come up to your feet for straddle splits instead, come back up to your hands and feet, and then walk your feet as wide as they'll go and try to come back down to your elbows. Standing straddle splits, but keeping the feet flat on the ground. It's a little different than the seated version. This one isolates those inner thighs more. So frog or straddle splits. Frog is Bekasana in Sanskrit. Straddle splits, the standing version, is Samokonasana. It means same angle pose because you have the same angle on both sides of your legs. Last couple breaths here, wherever you're at. Come up to your hands. If you're on your knees, carefully come back up to your feet. If you're in that straddle, walk your feet back in. Kind of about where we started. Then just gently bend one knee at a time. Move your hips side to side. Shake it loose. Find a flat back. Bend both knees. Hands to hips. Slowly come up. Very nice. Let's step to the front of the mat. Bring your feet together and your hands to prayer position and reset at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or hop back. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Now have a seat so you can watch. So I'm going to show you guys Koundinyasana. Again, it's named after a sage, but it looks like scissors, so I call it scissors. I've also heard other yoga teachers call it hurdlers, but technically it's named after a sage called Koundinya. So I'm going to start basically in my lizard pose like this. Then I walk my foot in, and my back knee is off the ground. So I'm basically in my crescent lunge almost. I have to lift my hips up a lot and duck down. This is where that hip flexibility comes into play. My left hand, because this is my left leg, is going to grab the back of my ankle or my calf and kind of wiggle my shoulder right underneath so that it looks like my shoulder here is touching my calf. It's like a backpack strap. Now, both hands are going to go down like chaturanga. My hands are right in line with each other, shoulders width, and my elbows are bent. This is the hardest part, is that first leg. You got to pop that heel up and kind of wiggle it to the side. And I kick it out to the side, not straight forward. It's not about the splits. It's going to go to the side. Okay, so I kind of walk it out to the side, flex that foot. Then I lean forward. Remember that crow pose. I don't want to stay back here. I want to go forward so my big toes touching the floor. Hug my right elbow in so I can rest on it and float that back leg up. So my legs look like scissors. So my right elbow is in close. I don't turn it out, but I feel my elbow touching my hip so that I can kind of lay on it a little bit. But remember, just like with crow, I have to go forward. If I just go down, I'm going to go splat to the floor. And I do get pretty close to the floor on this one, but I'm shifting forward and my big toe on that back leg is the last thing to leave the floor. I'm going to show you from the other side. So I'm in my kind of lizard pose here. I walk my right foot in a little, lift my butt up and duck down. Right hand grabs the calf, wiggle my shoulder behind the knee as best I can. Hands shoulder width like chaturanga, elbows bent. First step, just working on getting here today, even if you don't lift the leg. Then maybe kind of walk this right foot, wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it, and then flex it. Then lean forward, hug that left elbow, and keep going forward. Think forward instead of down to float that leg. Now I look to the side just so that my face doesn't hit the floor. I always look towards that front foot, right? Just in case, if I were to fall, I don't want to fall on my nose. I'd rather fall on my cheek. Plus, like I said, you get pretty low to the floor, so it's always just better if you look to the side. I know that was a lot. Let's all try it together, okay? So come into down dog and just take it one step at a time and then stay where you need to stay. Lift your right leg up and step it outside your right hand. Good. Now walk your right foot in a couple inches closer to the middle. Lift your butt up, dug down. Right hand grabs that right calf and put your shoulder right behind that calf, like you're throwing that leg over your shoulder. Nice, you guys, that's it. Now put both hands down in line with each other so they look like chaturanga. And maybe you stay here today. Maybe you just work on the front leg. Wiggle that right leg out to the side and lift it. Good, if you got that part, hug your left elbow in, shift forward and down to float that left leg up. Good, and you're gonna find one side might be different too. It depends on the flexibility. So when you're done, nice, Destiny, there you go, that's that front leg, good. Let's go back to down dog and let's try the other side together, one step at a time. So you'll lift your left leg up, step it outside that left hand, that's step one, right? Finding that lunge position. Walk your left foot in a couple inches to the middle. Good, lift your butt up and duck down. Grab your left calf with your left hand and push your shoulder right behind it. Plant your hands down like chaturanga, shoulders with distance, elbows bent. Maybe lift the left heel, wiggle it to a 45-degree angle, maybe flex it and lift it. And then hug that right elbow in, keep leaning forward, and maybe float that right leg up. Now, if you want to try it again on your own. If you had enough, you can rest in child's pose, right? Again, it's challenging. It requires a certain amount of flexibility as well as strength for the arm balance. But feel free, if you felt like one side was kind of close, try it again. Remember, one step at a time, working that front leg first, and then once you get that, you'll later add that back leg. Good, Madison. Yeah, keep wiggling that foot kind of to the side, like off of your mat. Keep going. Yeah, and then try to lift it. Flex your foot and kick it. So close. There you go. Now hug your right elbow in and lean forward. You got that front leg. Almost. Good. Good. When you guys are done, we'll meet in child's pose. No rush. Again, these poses, each week we'll introduce different poses. But you just keep coming back to them. You can practice them more on your own too if you want, but they definitely take time. So in this child's pose, bring your knees all the way together. Bring your forehead down and then take your arms alongside you so you can let those shoulders relax. We're going to start to cool it down a little bit. So let those shoulders round forward, reset, reconnect to your breath. When you're ready, coming back into your downward facing dog. Step both feet to the front, roll up to stand, one vertebra at a time. I'm just going to back up a little so you can see better. Hands to prayer position. Standing number 4. Right foot goes across my left thigh. So it looks like a figure 4 shape. I flex my right foot, bend your left leg, and slowly sit the hips back like you're sitting into a little chair. So focusing the eyes, it's a balanced pose as well as a hip stretch. You can put your hands on the blocks if you want, or on the floor if they reach, or you can keep your hands in prayer position. The more you bend that left standing leg, the deeper the stretch is in that right hip. Come up, shake it out, switch legs, hands back to prayer. Left foot across, making that figure 4 shape, flex the foot, bend your right leg. Get as low as you can. Elbows or forearms on the shin, maybe hands to blocks or to the floor. Balancing and stretching into that left hip. Come up, release, shake it out. Meet at the top of the mat, feet together. Last vinyasa, last chaturanga of the class. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step to the front and have a seat. Grab behind your hamstrings, sit up really tall. Navasana, boat pose. Lean back and lift the feet. Keeping your spine nice and long, and then extend the arms. You can keep your knees bent, or you can work on straightening the legs. Hold for 5. If you feel it too much in the hips, keep the knees bent. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put your feet down, about hips width distance apart. Reverse tabletop, bring your hands about a foot behind you, fingers pointing forward. Lift your chest up first, then lift your hips up. You can keep your chin down, or you can just let that head fall back if that feels okay on the neck. You should feel a deep stretch in the front of the shoulders. It's a good counter pose to chaturanga. Good, lower back down. We're gonna come into boat pose one more time. So again, grab the hamstrings to help you sit up tall, and then lean back and lift the legs and extend the arms. Again, bent legs or straight legs, you choose, but twist both arms to the right and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Twist to the left and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet back down. Now you can repeat the reverse tabletop, or you could do a reverse plank. Straight legs, toes pointed, feet together. The arms are the same. You walk your hands back a foot, lift your chest, and then try to lift your hips up and push your big toes down. And maybe drop the head back. So reverse tabletop is with the knees bent. Reverse plank is with the legs straight. Nice. Lower your hips. Roll down onto your back. Hug your knees in, rock side to side. Bridge pose. Place your feet on the floor, hips width distance apart. Hands right beside you. Lifting your hips up, holding here, or try to interlace your fingers. Wiggle your shoulders underneath you. Push down through the arms to lift the hips up for bridge. Again, if the interlace doesn't work, you just keep the hands flat. Good. Slowly come down. Now we're only going to do one more. You can repeat bridge, or you can try wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. Your hands come up by your shoulders. It's a much deeper back bend, so if it doesn't feel good, don't force it. You lift your hips, maybe press up to the top of the head and hold there, or push into your hands and lift your head off the floor. Again, if wheel doesn't feel good, please stay with bridge. And then carefully tuck your chin, come all the way down. Wherever you're at, we'll meet in a lying down butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees open wide. Hands can rest on the stomach or the floor, or maybe overhead in a diamond shape. Resetting the spine, letting that natural curve of the spine come back after those deep back bends. And then also slowing down your breath, slowing down your heart rate here. From here, happy baby. Try to reach for the inside edges of the feet. Flex your feet. Lengthen your tailbone down and press down with your hands. Like you're trying to push your knees towards the floor and the outside of the ribs, stretching your hips. If you can't reach your feet, just grab behind your hamstrings or your knees here. And then rock a little side to side and massage your back. Hug both knees back into your chest. Rock forward and back 2 or 3 times. Massage your spine until you come up to seated. Good. Both legs out straight. Flex the feet. If you have your strap, you can use your strap around your feet here and hold on to that. Sit up tall and then fold forward. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Using the strap or just grabbing onto your feet, your legs, anything that you can reach there as you fold. Slowly come up. And then open your legs out wide for a seated straddle split. So we did the standing one earlier. Some of you did it and some of you did frog. But now we'll do seated straddle splits, Upavishta Konasana. So you take your legs out in a V as wide as they'll go. Flex your feet. Take your right hand and grab your right foot or your leg and reach your left arm over your ear. Parsva Upavishta Konasana, side straddle splits. Over to the other side. And then as you come up, keep those feet flexed and walk your hands forward. Maybe a few inches, maybe a few feet. Go as far as you can. If you have those blocks, you can also put your forehead on a block maybe if it reaches. Walk your hands in. Shake out your legs. Guide them together. And then roll back down onto your back. If you have your strap, put it around your right foot and pull the right leg towards you. If you can reach the ankle with a straight leg, then you don't necessarily need the strap. If you don't have a strap, then you have to just grab a little lower on the leg, maybe on the hamstring or the calf. So wherever you're at, straight right leg, flex the foot and pull it in. The left leg can just relax on the floor. Any position that's comfortable, you can let that left leg relax. If you have the strap, put both ends in your right hand. If you can reach the big toe without the strap, right peace fingers grab the big toe. But if you don't have a strap and you can't reach the big toe, just hold on to the outside of the right leg. Put your left hand on your left hip and open your right leg to the right. So it's just going to kind of dangle to the side. It won't reach the floor, but it'll just kind of hover. Now bring it through center and switch hands. Same leg though. Left hand grabs onto your strap or the outer edge of the foot or the outer edge of the thigh. Right arm opens like a T. Flex that right foot and keep that leg straight and slowly twist it across. Sometimes it might feel good just to stop partway across, maybe all the way to the floor, getting into that straight leg spinal twist. If it feels okay in the neck, you can turn your head and look towards that right hand. Now let's bring it to center and switch sides. So let that right leg relax. If you're using the strap, put that strap around the left foot and pull it towards you. Or both hands grabbing onto the hamstring, calf, or ankle, flexing that foot, pulling it towards you. Letting that right leg relax now as you stretch into that left leg. If you can reach the big toe, left peace fingers on the big toe. Otherwise, left hand holding the strap or the outer edge of the leg. Right hand to your hip, open the left leg to the left. Bring it through center, switching hands. Right hand on the strap or the outer edge of the foot or leg. Left arm out like a T. Flex your left foot and with a straight leg, start to twist it across your body as far as you can. And maybe turning your head, looking to the left. Bring it to center, release the strap if you're using it. We're going to do one more spinal twist variation. Both arms out to the side like a T. Feet on the floor, knees bent. Cross your right knee over your left. Then move your hips just like 1 or 2 inches to the right first and drop your knees to the left. So the right leg is crossed on top as you drop the knees to the left. If that's too much or too intense of a stretch, you can uncross the legs and still twist them to the left. If it feels okay on your neck, turning your head looking to the right. I like the cross in the legs because then you feel a little hip stretch as well here into this final twist. And bring your legs through center, switching the cross if you have them crossed. Left leg crosses on top. Move your hips an inch or two to the left. Drop your knees to the right, and then maybe turn your head and look left. And take the same variation you did on the other side. Last pose here before our Shavasana. Bring it back to center. Uncross your legs. Wrap your arms around your shins and curl up into a tight ball. Bring your forehead up to your knees. Give yourself a big hug and then let it go. Coming into your Shavasana, your final relaxation. Extending the legs out long and letting the feet fall open about as wide as your mat. Arms relax alongside you with the palms facing up. Take those shoulders, shrug them down away from your ears to help keep the neck long. As you close your eyes, clear away any last remaining thoughts. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth. Letting it go, letting those muscles relax even deeper into the floor. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to bring some small movements back into your body. Maybe drawing a few circles with the wrists and ankles, moving them in both directions. And maybe gently moving your head a little bit side to side. Anything that feels good to you. When you feel ready, reach the arms overhead, reach the legs long, create that nice full body stretch, getting as tall as you can. And hug both knees into your chest. Roll to one side, coming into a fetal position. Keeping the eyes closed, use the hands to help press you all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Crossing the legs, sitting up nice and tall. Hands coming together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And taking a couple last deep breaths here. Scanning the body, noticing how it feels after today's yoga practice. Take one more nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go. Lift your hands to your forehead, your third eye center, and bowing forward. Namaste.